Hey folks, it's that time again. Welcome to 2 Minutes with Bill Robinson, brought to you by the Perry Hill Road Church of Christ here in Montgomery, Alabama. The essential inward characteristics of Christians, as they have been called to eagerly maintain the unity of the Spirit, are humility, gentleness, patience, and forbearing one another in love. The external marks of that call to unity for those who make up the saved body of individuals are identified by the 7 ones in Ephesians 4, verses 4 through 6. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you're called to the one hope that belongs to your call. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, and one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. As one Greek scholar has observed, that these 7 ones comprise a list, and he writes, quote, "The list presents objective items. Our basis of oneness is objective, must be so in order to be such a basis," end of quote. Thus, the one body is a spiritual body. Those who comprise the one body are a spiritual people, made alive by the one Spirit of God, who calls them to the one hope, a living hope by the resurrection of the one Lord, Jesus Christ. 1 Peter 1 and verse 3. What then is the one faith? Again, the scholar we just quoted wrote, quote, "Hence, one faith includes our personal believing, but the stress is on the Christian faith as such, on what constitutes its substance. This is one, even as it centers on one Lord. One, whether you and I embrace it or not," end of quote. In other words, the one faith is referring to the source or basis of our saving faith. And Paul reminds us that our reason for believing in Jesus as the one Lord is based solely on the word of Christ, namely the gospel. Paul writes, "So faith comes by hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ," Romans 10, verse 17. So faith, that saving faith, comes only from the one faith, the gospel, for it is the power of God unto salvation, Romans 1, verse 16. The only ground on which all saving faith rests is the word of Christ. Thus, the New Testament is the one faith without which we would know nothing of saving faith. Friend, would you like to learn more about that one faith? Email me at perryhillchurch@gmail.com. perryhillchurch@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to study with you. Thank you so much for listening.